Welcome to Kickups 90. We're talking Portugal versus Spain. Let's get into it. This is the kind of game the World Cup was made for. Spain versus Portugal. Two neighbors, two footballing giants, and only one can keep their dream of lifting the trophy alive. When the knockout rounds begin, every mistake carries a price. Every moment can define a tournament. And this round of 16 clash has all the ingredients to become one of the biggest matches we've seen so far. Spain arrived looking like a team that's finally found its rhythm. After a frustrating start to the tournament, they've grown with every performance, and their convincing victory over Austria felt like a statement. The football was quicker, the movement was sharper, and perhaps most importantly, they played with confidence. It wasn't just about winning 3-0, it was about how they won. The ball zipped across the pitch with purpose. Their pressing was coordinated. Their attacks looked dangerous from almost every angle. For long periods, Austria simply couldn't get close to them. That's exactly what you want to see from a team hoping to become world champions. The scary part for Spain's opponents is that they still don't look like they've reached top gear. Lamine Yamal, despite constantly finding dangerous spaces, wasn't at his clinical best. On another day, he could easily have walked away with multiple goals. That tells you everything about this Spanish side. They're creating chances, but there's still another level they can reach. And if they find it now, just as the knockout stage begins, they'll become one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. Portugal, meanwhile, arrived with a very different feeling. Their previous performance wasn't perfect. There were moments where they struggled to control the game, particularly through midfield, and defensively they looked vulnerable at times. But tournament football has never been about perfection. The great teams know how to survive when they aren't playing well. Portugal did exactly that. Instead of collapsing under pressure, they found a way to win. Those are often the victories that build belief inside a squad. Now, though, the challenge becomes significantly tougher. Spain are unlike almost every other opponent because they demand something different from you. They don't just want possession, they expect to dominate it. That creates the biggest tactical question of this entire match. How do Portugal approach the game? Do they press aggressively and risk leaving space behind? Or do they stay compact, defend patiently, and wait for opportunities to counterattack? Neither option is comfortable, because if Spain settle into their passing rhythm, they can make even the best teams spend long periods chasing shadows. That brings us to what could be the most important battle of the night, the midfield. Whoever controls the center of the pitch will likely control the match itself. Spain want to dictate the tempo, patiently moving opponents from side to side before exploiting the smallest opening. Portugal simply cannot allow that to happen. They'll need intensity, discipline, and perhaps the performance of the tournament from their midfield if they're going to disrupt Spain's flow. The battle out wide could be just as decisive. Both teams rely heavily on adventurous fullbacks who love joining the attack. They're capable of creating overloads, stretching defensive lines, and supplying dangerous crosses. But there's a catch. If one team can force those fullbacks backwards, suddenly one of the opposition's biggest attacking weapons disappears. It's a tactical chess match that could quietly decide who advances. Then there's Cristiano Ronaldo. Even at this stage of his career, he's still the player defenders worry about most. He doesn't need 10 chances. Sometimes he only needs one. The challenge for Portugal is making sure he actually receives those opportunities. Against a side that keeps the ball as well as Spain, service into Ronaldo could be limited. That's why players capable of carrying the ball forward become so important. Rafael Leão may prove to be Portugal's biggest weapon. While many of Portugal's attackers thrive through intricate passing and technical quality, Leão offers something completely different. Raw speed, direct running, the ability to eliminate defenders one-on-one. In tight knockout games where chances are limited, that unpredictability can change everything. Spain, meanwhile, possess threats across the entire pitch. Their confidence is growing, their passing combinations are becoming sharper, and they're beginning to resemble the side that dominated European football. But there is still one thing missing: ruthlessness. They've created plenty of opportunities throughout this tournament, yet there have been moments where they haven't punished opponents as efficiently as they could have. If they become more clinical, they won't just beat teams, they could overwhelm them. As fascinating as the tactical battle will be, football also loves its stories. This match offers one of the most symbolic moments of the tournament. When Cristiano Ronaldo made his World Cup debut, Lamine Yamal hadn't even been born. Now they share the same stage. One represents nearly 2 decades of excellence. The other may be taking his first steps toward becoming football's next global superstar. It's the passing of generations unfolding before our eyes. And yet, despite all the attention on individual stars, this game is unlikely to be decided by one player alone. These are two intelligent, disciplined sides who understand what's at stake. Expect a cautious opening. Expect moments where neither team wants to commit too many players forward. Because in knockout football, nobody wants to make the mistake they'll remember forever. But if the game remains level entering the final half hour, everything changes. The spaces grow larger, the tackles become stronger, managers gamble with attacking substitutions, fatigue creeps in. That's when matches like these truly come alive. One moment of brilliance, one defensive lapse, one unforgettable goal. That's often all it takes. Spain may enter this tie with slightly more momentum after their impressive display against Austria, but Portugal possess the experience, resilience, and attacking quality to punish even the smallest mistake. It's a clash between control and resilience, between patient possession and explosive counterattacks, between one generation's legend and another generation's rising star. And when the final whistle blows, one European giant will continue its journey toward World Cup glory, while the other will be heading home. And that's our full preview of what promises to be one of the biggest matches of the World Cup so far. Who do you think is going through? Will Spain's control and possession prove too much, or can Portugal rise to the occasion and pull off another famous knockout victory? Let me know your prediction in the comments below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts before kickoff. If you enjoyed this preview and want more in-depth World Cup analysis, match previews, tactical breakdowns, and post-match reactions throughout the tournament, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.